Lima, the capital city of Peru, is vibrant and somehow chaotic. It's on the Pacific coast of South America. Known for its rich history, Lima offers a captivating blend of ancient ruins, colonial architecture, and modern developments. Lima is also famous for its gastronomic scene, with a large variation of Peruvian dishes like ceviche and lomo saltado. And this is what these 7 podcast shows are about. My name is Sabine Goethals. I am your host. Listen on this channel or watch on YouTube and get inspired. In this episode, it's nice to meet this personality. Dear Chef, thank you for receiving me in this beautiful place of Maido. Could you tell me your story? Because you are a son of immigrants, aren't you?
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Actually, we're in the private room of the restaurant, and time goes by very quickly, so it's incredible. It seems like yesterday when I was in college. So I started actually cooking in my house for my parents when I was like about 10 or 12 years old. There were 2 TV programs. Actually, at that moment, we didn't have like all these platforms, Netflix, YouTube, nothing like that. Not even cable TV. So you had only 4 or 5 channels local. And there were 2 chefs, Carlos Alignano from the Basque Country, and Teresa Ocampo. She's Peruvian. They are both still, Actually, Carlos Arignano, he still does TV actually. He's very, he's a chef, but he's also like an entertainer. He's a showman. And Teresa Ocampo is one of the iconic chefs of Peru. She's already like about 96 years old. She came to the restaurant when she became 90. I got to meet her and tell her how she became one of my inspirations in become a chef. Mm-hmm. So these TV programs were the ones that, I don't know why, because I was a kid, 10 years old, just changing channels, not with a remote control by hand at that moment. Ended up being an inspiration because I started to look at the recipes, and it was fun for me, to see that she did like a little bit of pastry and also savory food. And Carlos did mostly savory, but I watched those 2 little programs and I ended up writing the recipes at the end of the programs and tried to make it.
Was there in your home a culture of having good food on the table?
Yes. Actually, my mom, this is very interesting because my father he's from Osaka, from Japan. He came to Peru 43 years ago, or 44. So actually, if you calculate my age and when he came, it's like he came, he met my mom, and I was born. It was like really, really quick.
Having good sex.
Yes, actually. So it was almost immediate.
Could you tell me, Chef, why your father came to Peru?
Yes.
Was it not a good time in Japan, or?
Actually, he was in the U.S. It was not a good time in Japan. I believe it was, but he wanted always to go abroad. He didn't want to stay in Japan, actually. So he went to the States and to find a job. He graduated from the career of economist.
Yes. Many people went to the States to have a dream, to follow their dreams. Yes.
And he ended up selling sewing machines door to door, actually. So he was not doing very well in Chicago, actually. So he was looking for another job, or somewhere else to go. And I gotta explain this without reason, but because that's life. His uncle gives him a phone call and tells him, "Hey, what are you doing?" Because my father speaks Japanese and English. At that moment, he didn't speak Spanish. And he tells him, "What are you doing?" "Well, I'm in the States, I'm selling sushi machines on the door." And he asked him if he wanted to come to Peru because it's a coincidence. I don't know why, but I gotta ask. But my family, on my father's side, his uncle, which he came to Peru. The father of his uncle came to Peru long time ago. Like he was in Peru already when my father was in the States. His uncle was the owner of one of the biggest travel agencies in Peru. So he tells my dad, "Why don't you come over? I will give you a good salary." And he told him, "It's in Peru." My father said, "Where is Peru?" He didn't know really what Peru was. I'm like, trying. He's in South America. "What language do they speak?" "Spanish." And he said, "I speak Spanish." "Doesn't matter. English and Japanese is perfect." He came to Peru. And it's interesting because I had not really asked how was the process of them coming to Peru so long ago. I had asked that. But that's what. So he came here. I started working with my uncle. And that's where he met my mom. Because my mom went to the travel agency to buy some plane tickets, to...
Love at first sight.
Yes, that's what it was.
So, chef, what do you feel? Do you feel nowadays Peruvian or a bit Japanese too?
As Peruvians, as many countries also have Italian, Japanese, Chinese influence. So I've been Peruvian, but in my family and many Nikkei families, which is very important in Peru, we always also follow traditions from Japan. It's part of our culture, It's called the Nikkei culture.
What exactly is the Nikkei culture?
Actually, Nikkei, it's a word to describe it's Japanese immigrants or first degree sons, grandsons, of first generation, which is Japanese, second generation, third generation, or fourth generation Japanese, which are born outside of Japan. So they are all called Nikkei. Within Nikkei, it can be Nisei, which is seventh generation. It can be Sansei, which is third generation, or Yonsei, which is fourth generation. After the fourth generation, you are not Nikkei part. So,
and what's typical for the Nikkei culture?
In Peru,
yes,
food. I would say food. Yes.
Food. Okay. Then we come to the food, to the Nikkei traditions you want to set here at Maido. But first, tell me about how you managed to have Maido as a young boy. You studied, of course. You had to learn the business. After those TV programs, you were 13. Did you work in the catering business between that and your studies?
In my house, after watching the TV programs, I cooked for my parents, cooked for my friends. And that's why my father, he encouraged me to be a chef. That was nice. So I went to the States to study culinary arts. The only condition of my father was to go to a university that gives me a bachelor's degree in cooking. You go, but I want you to go I want you to have a university degree. And I said, where? Because at that time, there were not many, in Peru, there were no cooking schools at all, almost like maybe one, institutes. And I found this university called John Wells in the States. So finally, I went there. But to answer your question, basically, the Nikkei traditions, and what Nikkei is we have 4 big immigrations in Peru. Basically, Japanese from Okinawa, Chinese from Canton, Italy from Genova, and of course, Spanish from the Conquest. Yeah, I would say that one of the cuisines that have merged in a beautiful way with Peruvian food, it's Nikkei. So what we eat every day has many of the food we have, tiraditos, ceviches, especially fish and seafood, have a lot to do with what Japanese taught us. about, you how to use a fish, how to treat the seafood, how to prepare it, and etc. In Maido, we started very, very Nikkei, very Japanese in a way. And I think that was a trend for every chef at that moment. Gaston was doing French at that time. Virgilio was doing cuisines of the world. Pedro Miguel Scarpino was doing Italian. I was doing more Japanese. And all of a sudden, this change started to happen. We started to work together, because Gaston is the leader of Peruvian cuisine. He's the one who brought together all the chefs. He's one of my best friends. And I believe that every chef of Peru.
Do you call him your mentor?
Yes.
What's his story? Everyone says Gaston, it was so great.
Because he was the first to say, let's believe in our country, Let's stop thinking that things that come from abroad are better than what we do here. We have a history of thousands of years. We have a country which is mega diverse. We have almost everything, and we don't really realize that, and we don't appreciate it. We rather go to another country for vacations rather than going to. Many people at that time have never been to Machu Picchu, but they had been to Disney World. They had been to, and it's okay. But I mean, I've been there too. But you have this place that everybody in the world wants to go, and you have it in 1 hour away by plane, and you don't go. Machu Picchu is an example. So when Peru, when Gaston starts to get, the first challenge was to get chefs together, universities, media, government, anthropologists, every person that could add.
A kind of community.
A community to build and understand our cuisine, because at that moment, the truth was that we didn't really know where we came from and what our cuisine was. So there were books, from many other chefs like Cucho La Rosa, Bernardo Carrey, Mariano Valderrama. The people that have wrote about history of Peruvian cuisine, Isabel Alvarez, and many other, I would say, more experienced chefs, with much more age and much more, knowledge about what Peru was before.
Gaston asked you to join the community. You said yes, of course.
Yes, and we started then realizing. Before that, we really didn't know much about Chifa, Nikkei, Italian, Peruvian, because we had to study about it, travel the country, know about the regions, know about the products. There was no quinoa in Lima. You went to the market and you asked for quinoa, and they said no. Or if you found it, it was for the chickens. You gave that to the chickens. So, and now it's a quinoa, so it's not it's an expensive product. So at that moment, Peruvians were not eating Peruvian ingredients. And that was really sad, because we had so many beautiful products in the Amazon, in the Andes, and we were not using. What we did is to make a big event, which was called Mistura. And that was the catalyst, that was the event that changed everything. The work that was done before, investigating, trying to make contact with the farmers, creating a bonding with them, telling them that we were an ally, we were friends, that we needed to work together in order for them to be able to show and sell their products, and for us to be able to use them here in the capital city.
Could you name a few really important products?
Yes, and actually I work a lot with potatoes, native potatoes. We have also commercial potatoes or processed potatoes, which are much easier to grow. Native potatoes only can grow above 2,500 above sea level. If not, they won't grow. Or if they grow, they will not have the nutrients that they usually have. That's what people don't really know. Because the purple potatoes, red potatoes, gray potatoes, blue potatoes, all these potatoes with these good, beautiful colors. The colors of the potatoes, the native potatoes that you see, are not there to just make look pretty. They are there because they are antioxidants. They have vegetable protein. They have vitamins. They have minerals. So basically, having a native potato, eating a native potato is like a complete meal. Farmers don't usually get to sell all their production, so they at the end of the season, they have leftovers that you throw away sometimes, and that is something I said the only way to increase the demand for this product is to not only because only restaurants and hotels use these kind of potatoes. The houses don't buy native potatoes either because they don't know how to use them or because they are more expensive. But they are more expensive because they are totally organic and they come from very, very far away and very, and it's very difficult to access, these areas, these mountains. 3 months ago, we made it happen. One good friend of mine, Roberto Soto, he is a very good farmer, but also an entrepreneur that managed to get together 60 small producers, make a brand, export potatoes, make potato chips, and now we are selling these potatoes in Lima. And I did the videos for the recipes, so people can just go and buy and watch the video and say, okay, if I buy this potato, it's gonna be for French fries. This one is gonna be for mashed potato. This one's gonna be for, making a stew. Chili peppers in Peru are very important. People think when they come to Peru that food is so spicy. All the food have chilies or ajíes, but we use the flavor of the ajíes. We take off the spiciness by boiling them, putting some vinegar, sugar, etc. But we keep the paste. And with that, we make the sofritos, we make, etc. In ceviche, it's different because ceviche has to be spicy. But most of the stews, most of the preparations of Peru, are not peppery, we don't use the peppers for that reason. So I would say tubers, ajíes, or chili peppers, and I would say the beautiful amount of biodiversity in the ocean, fish and seafood. We have I would say more than about 2,000 kilometers of coast. And depending on where you are, you will find different species. And I would say this ocean or this sea is one of the most diverse in the world. I would say top 5 maybe.
Let's go back once again to when you were a boy or a young boy or a student. Was it for sure you wanted to have your own place, your own restaurant?
I wanted to be many things before being a chef. Pilot, actually. Yeah, so a commercial clean pilot. For a short time, become a doctor. I cooked for fun at that time. From there, it changed a little bit, because I was more focused in, and I'm gonna be honest, in staying in Peru, staying with my friends. I have always been a good student, not very good conduct, in a way. Yes, but my father is Japanese, so he wanted to punish me sometimes, or something, but he said, hey, I look at this, I have good grades. And basically, he was the one who told me when I was 16. Yes, it went through my head. I'm 42, 20, 24, 25 years ago. Friends in school and the family and everybody was not talking about food, You were not talking about Peruvian food, about what's going on. That was not a matter of conversation. For me, it was like a dream, but something it was not realistic. And I said, I don't know if it's really worth becoming a chef. I like it. I like to cook, but I have not decided yet. So my parent came and said, what are you going to do for your future? Because he asked me all the time. And I said, well, maybe I go to the Universidad de Lima. My friends are going there. Study business management. He looked at me, business management. So you're gonna end school and go to another school because all your friends are not gonna be there. University, hang out with your friends. That's good. No, that's not gonna happen. I need you to go outside. I need you to see some. I wanna support. My job is gonna be to give you education. After education, you're on your own. And he said, what do you want to do? Okay, if you want to do business management, okay, but I don't want you to stay in Peru. He said, yeah, I need you to go outside of Peru to see other people, to meet other people, to see something different that have you been seen in Peru. So, and he said to me, you are always, in the kitchen, you are cooking. So you like cooking, right? And I said, yes, I love it. So he said, I don't have a problem if you want to become a chef. Just remember that is a job that demands a lot of time. He gave me my father has nothing to do with food. He doesn't cook. He owns a travel agency, now his own, after working with his uncle. And, but he has no idea about cooking. But we coming from Japan, where chefs are very respected, what from that moment also, he said it's not easy. And I would tell you, study, go. That's when he told me to go to the university. They both influenced me a lot in my decisions, and I'm grateful for that. So I finished cooking school. Then I went to Japan. It was a whole new world. It was really hard in Japan. Many chefs have done like in France, like in Japan. Old school, old way. It's not easy to digest, but I learned a lot. So I ended up studying cuisine, culinary arts, then going to Japan, and then working for hotels. And that's when I made events. I worked as a waiter. I worked in the kitchen as a chef de partie, sous chef, food and beverage director of the Sheraton in Lima. And I also was in the Sous Chef Hotel. So at that moment, the Sheraton was the biggest hotel for events in Peru. And when I was 26 years old, incredibly, I left the kitchen and became the food and beverage director of the hotel, because the GM asked me if I would take that position. And I said, yes, why not? It's important also to see not only the back of the house, but the front of the house, and have this challenge of understanding numbers, of being able to read that P&L, to make a budget, to make a forecast, to understand the food costs, inventories, labor, ratios, etc.
Something you can use so good today.
Of course, yes. So at that time I said, I need to learn this also, because it's not just going to your kitchen, cooking something good, having your restaurant food. Sometimes that happens, but when you see your numbers, you are losing money, and you don't know why. So I said, this will be a nice, my GM at that moment, as well as the chef of the hotel, helped me a lot, Jose Montes. They taught me everything, and I started to like it. I really was not into numbers before, but when you have to do what they have to do with business, it's more interesting in a way. At that time, I was 26 years old, and I was in charge of a team of 280 persons, including banquets, including all the outlets, bar, restaurant, fine dining restaurant, etc. 26 years old. I was really scared. I was very, very scared, because all of them were older than me. Everybody was older than me. So I sat with each one of them and told them my story. It took me like about 1 month to tell them why I was sitting in that desk, and which were my goals. That's how the relationship started with the whole team, F&B team. So I was one of the persons who took care of the presidents at that time, Obama, and all the presidents that came to Peru. Actually, the next year, I mean, the APEC here also, APEC, INGEPET of the oil companies of the world. We did events for 3,000, 4,000 people, banquets, different stations. So yes, organizing events, parties, weddings, you name it. And I like it, but it's really stressful. And they have so many stories, that in 1 hour before an event, we didn't have, for example, all of a sudden the structure collapsed. yeah, or something like that, So yes.
So the stress here is nothing against the stress of there.
In Maido, I don't feel stress. In Maido, it's like now we have a team that has been with us, most of them for almost more than 10 years. The only thing that's stress, that is stressing away, maybe it's when something doesn't go the way it should go, But if not, the day-to-day basis here is like having fun. There are challenges, like we're a creative restaurant, so people always demand new things, But that is part of my job, and that's why I think that Maido is the therapy for me, actually.
So my next question is, and there you come to it, as a chef, as a human being, you have your own character and personality. Is there a difference between you as a person, character, and as a chef in his kitchen?
Yes.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Could you tell me the secret? What's the difference?
When I go in working mode, I am always, outside of the kitchen, very smiley, very easygoing, very. People say.
Very open, I think.
Open.
Also, and warm. I had a warm feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. People are like, I cannot picture you like serious, without talking too much and stuff. But yes, when it comes to work, I focus on my job, and I don't throw jokes in the kitchen. People, some chefs do.
That's for after work.
That's for after work.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't grab a glass of wine or a glass of alcohol during my work. Never. Even though I drink, I like to drink. Fortunately,
What's your favorite drink?
Scotch. But I do it after work. But yes, it's like people that haven't seen me in or when I do events, out in other countries or the kitchen's open, and watch me in the kitchen. I'm like, who are you? It's like
Speedy Gonzalez.
Who are you? What happened to you? I'm working today.
Yeah, yeah.
I was smiling. I'm smiling inside, but I'm working right now. And it's like, yes.
What do you think, chef, is a good profile of someone who works next to you in the kitchen? What does he have to be for you? Someone, your sous chef or your chef de partie? So what are the conditions for being a good worker in the kitchen and in the restaurant? Tell me.
Important positions like a sous chef or a chef. I always tell them, you have to think like me. Get into my mind. Because sometimes I'm not here because I'm traveling, etc. So try to understand, and first of all, the way I register flavors. What is salty for me? What is not salty? What is sweet? What is bitter? So we try plates and we don't talk. And then you say, what do you think about this? I already have the answer. So I started training them to understand food and like the food that I like. Because we all have different kind of registers of what is salty, what is bitter, what is too sweet, what combinations to make or not. So first of all, I need them to understand that if for me something it's too spicy, for them it should be too. It cannot be like, oh, but it's not so spicy. For me, it's too spicy. I'm like, we are not in the same channel. And if you're going to be the chef or the sous chef of the restaurant, you have to understand that for Micha will be spicy. I don't know, but we have 14 years and people kind of like what we do, so I know what people want to eat, how they want to eat it. So that's, I always say, and many chefs would tell you that. My right hand, or my sous chef or my chef, to think like me. If I'm not there, what would Mitsuharu or Micha do if this happens? Would he send the plate back? Would he just serve it anyways? Or would he just, I don't know.
Throw it away.
Those decisions make a difference, Sometimes you're in a rush and you say, okay, just take the food because we have to take more food out. But I always say, I'd rather make them wait than serve a plate that is not well done, So that is the most important thing. And Cesar and Oscar and Akira, which are the three most important, and Dalila, my pastry chef, And it's very, very, because sometimes we look at each other. I don't have to say a word, and they already know what I need.
Chef, do you often come in the restaurant when your clients are here, or do you rather stay in your kitchen?
I love having contact with the customers. I like, but one thing I do.
Do you learn from them?
Yes, and believe me, you won't imagine how many feedback I had from people that I don't even know, that they're not even foodies or anything, but they told me, hey, I think that maybe you could change this. I love.
Yes, but do you like that they say that to you? Sometimes it's not so fun to always have criticism.
No, we don't have it always, but sometimes when they give me a point,
you listen.
Yes, I listen. I always think that menus, especially tasty menus, get polished to perfection. Perfection, no, because I don't think there's perfection. You try to have perfection, but because perfection is something that is, nothing is perfect, because if we are perfect, whatever is perfect cannot be made better. So evolution stops. Yes, I like to listen.
Yeah.
I like to listen. Some people tell you stuff that doesn't really make sense. That doesn't matter. But some people really tell you some comments with a point.
Mm-hmm.
One day, one lady that was sitting by herself, she was an artist. She was a painter, I believe. She told me, I loved your menu. It was amazing. One thing, just check. You have 3 deep fried dishes in your menu. I said, for an 11 course, 3 deep fried dishes, which are deep fried. Crispy, etc.
Yes.
With butter or something. I said, that's too much. Maybe there should be 1 or 2. Actually, at a point.
Yes.
And I made a change.
Wow. Maido, the building, the restaurant. I see you brought a bit of Japanese traditions in the interior too, but it means something. What does it mean?
You know what? That is Japanese, but it's very Peruvian also. The keepers were the accounting tools of the Incas, and they use ropes for that.
But there's a meaning in it, eh?
Yes, the flags. In the reflection of the mirrors, it depends on what position of the restaurant you're in. You will see the Japanese flag or the Peruvian flag in the reflection of the mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the choice of the colors, the furniture, it gives me a bit Zen quality.
Yeah.
Is that the choice you made?
Yes.
Why do you think that's important?
I don't know. I like to. I'm very traditional in many ways. In other things, no. But for example. Well, today I have black t-shirt with fish, but usually I like black for any place that I would like to be in. I like nature. So it's like wood, stones, very sober. For me, my way I dress, for example, people tell me jeans and black shirt, a black t-shirt, almost all the time, 90% of the days of my life. So
you do wash them.
Of course I do. Or I buy many of them. They're wearing the same, it's a different one. It's the same model, but not the same.
Okay. Still, I have a few questions for you. What's the most beautiful thing about your profession?
For me, I would say, wow, how incredible it could be to be able to sit and be a friend of a chef that I always admired since I was a kid. And that's one of the reasons. Also to meet people that come to the restaurant, very, very, not chefs maybe, but artists, singers, people that have become friends. Many of my friends now are people that I've met in the restaurant as customers. But the most important one, I would say, is that, and I tell this every week to my team, is that for the staff of the restaurant, for the team, it's always, you come here and you are your station, you are in your position in the bar, in the dining room, in the kitchen. I always tell them that whatever they do has to be not perfect, because I would say perfection doesn't really exist, but excellent. Because you never know, people here come, they made a reservation first and then they bought the ticket, because they are going to celebrate anniversaries, they are going to give the ring here, or on the other side, is the other part of the story. It could be their last meal. And it has happened here to me 2 or 3 times, tables. And one of my friends also that told me while they were eating here that the person that was in that table eating, they asked her mom, where do you want to go? And she said, Maido. So, and so she passed away 2 days after that. And that happened also with a very good friend of mine that he's a big lawyer. He's one of the best lawyers in South America, and his father was also. When he got the cancer, his father I already knew he was not doing well, but the doctor said, okay, he can go home. There's nothing we can do. Pepe, my friend called me. I was in Singapore, but he said it so humble, in a way that I said, hey, he asked me, please, Micha, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know you are in Singapore, very busy, but you know what? You know, my father was not doing well. Well, already the doctor said he has no much time, and we asked him. He comes from a Chinese family, so everybody thought he was gonna put Chinese food cheap, but keep in mind. And he said, can you please make me a bento box or something, just to pick up and I will give it to him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's his last meal. Yes, but I don't want to bother you. You are not bothering me at all. It's like it is a mixed sensation. It's a mixed feeling between being sad, but also being like
Proud,
and please let me
do that.
Do this, but do it well. So I called Cesar, who is my partner now, and he's in charge of the kitchen. I said, Cesar, look, his father, when he was healthy, came every week to this room right here, because this room right next to us with the wine cellar was also a private room before. He came every week when we did 10 covers a day. We were not famous. So my Maido was just starting. He was one of our best customers, and I said, you know what? Let's send a team. So the team went there. 4 of my chefs went to his house, and in front of him, they prepared him a tasty menu. 2 days after that, he passed away.
Yeah. So you see, chef, that's why gastronomy is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yes, and that's why. Yes, there are things that I said.
Is that what's keep you going?
Yes, of
those
course.
Stories.
Those stories keep me going, of course.
Yeah.
People that I always tell them the memories, the experience when they live here, the memories of Maido. If we don't deliver the service, the food, the way it should be, their memories are gonna be like, okay, we went to Maido, but we were so looking forward for this. But thank God. I mean, most people go, yes, it's a very, very small percentage for some reason that maybe you cannot do everything perfect sometimes, but 99% of the times this happens, and it's like we work for that, and to know that when they come back, because they tell me their story. Hey, I was here when I was 5 years ago. I was here 5 years ago. You don't remember maybe, but here, I asked my wife to marry me. Now it's our anniversary.
And then they come with their children.
We decided to come here because it was such an amazing moment. So I tell the team, hey, not all the tables tell you what they are selling. Some people just don't say anything. They just come and eat. Let's make them remember this for their whole life.
That's why they have to come to Maido for the memories.
Yes. And it's something that maybe people don't know, but in my everyday basis, when I am with my friends or my family or whatever, I always have been a person that tries to serve. I don't feel more or less because I will have to pour you some water, even though I don't know you. If I have to pick up your plate, even though we are in a totally outside work, event. I will be doing a barbecue in my house or in a friend's house. I would do it without people asking me to do it.
Yeah.
I would be checking if everybody has wine, and I would just pour it. And people say, relax, what are you doing? I don't know. It's me. It's I like to serve. I like to give hospitality.
As an authority in the Peruvian gastronomy, one of the 50 best in Latin America and the 50 best in the world, do you sometimes think about the future? Because we have some challenges about the planet, the trends and evolution in the kitchen. Do you think about that too sometimes?
We are in a no waste kitchen. So before, you used to peel everything, you used to throw the skin, we used to now the part of the creativity is how to use everything. I think small action make big changes. So I think that you have to be consequent. For example, in our world where we work a lot with fish, our Amazonic products. Right now, for example, all the papers that we use in the restaurant, it comes from our recycled paper that comes from the Amazon, from garbage. Okay, it's called paper forest, actually. That's where the tasting menus are printed. That's where we print almost everything. It's all made from fallen trees, from rotten fruits, and from garbage. We are working on farming fish. We are doing the tests now in order to be able to give a bigger variety of fish, not only from the ocean, but also from lakes and also from rivers, to take some pressure away from other species from the ocean.
We have not a lot of fish anymore.
Yes.
Because of the dirt and the things and the plastic they find in the ocean.
Yes,
These are challenges, I think.
Those are challenges.
Do you sometimes think about plant-based food? Because that's the future too.
Yes. Actually, we have a vision. We have a vegetarian.
In your menu,
Yes.
yeah.
We have a specific vegetarian menu also.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and here in Peru, it's not that difficult because we have a lot of products, that are.
And don't you sometimes worry? For instance, in Belgium, where I come from, now, due to the climate change, it's very warm now. Maybe we will have lemons in Belgium because it will be too warm.
We don't have lemons in Peru. No, we have a problem.
Don't you find that scary?
Yes, of course. It is scary. It is scary. So and the most scary thing is that people are gonna try to control everything, and that is something that I don't think is gonna be possible.
Manipulate everything. Yeah.
So that is a challenge that I think everything is reversible, and I will have to be optimist, because as long as we keep it in Peru, and that has to do a lot with the Amazon. We keep it organic, the way the Amazon is, as we stop the deforestation, which is another big problem because of illegal mining, because of transgenic products, so let's say, because people think like this, I have 1 million hectares in the Amazon. Okay, what kind of products can I get from here? Nothing. Okay, so let's cut all these trees and put some soy and put some corn. I will make a lot of money. Okay, but you're destroying the Amazon. In less than 5 years, you will have no Amazon. So, and I gave this message in Gastromasa, and I said, the Amazon rainforest that doesn't belong to Peru, to Brazil, to Bolivia, to the countries that have the Amazon. It belongs not only to South America, it belongs to the world. Because they are the lungs of the world, and they control the amount of water and rain that falls. So if we don't have rain, or we have too much rain, both of them are are catastrophic. As we are very worried about the oceans of the world, let's worry about the tropical rainforests. Because I always say that there is something very interesting. The oceans are the heart of the planet, but the rainforests are the lungs. Neither you cannot live only with one.
That's a good message to the world, Chef, the Amazons.
Yes.
Last question.
Yes.
I always ask that question to every chef I meet. Chef, if there was a kind of machine I could throw you back to a certain moment in time where you said, wow, if I could relive that moment, a particular moment in your young career, personal life, doesn't matter, or today.
For me, memories are memories, and they should stay like that. I don't think you should live it twice. It takes out the magic of a memory. The past is past. It's already gone. The future doesn't exist. And the present for me, it's an eternal moment. I have many moments that probably I would tell you I would like to be there. But I think, and there's a phrase from Isabella, this Spanish singer, hyper famous. He's like a poet, and he has a phrase that says, "The places you have good memories and you were happy, just keep the memory."
I think you have said it all, Chef. Oh, it was a wonderful conversation. I hope you are happy too.
Yeah.
And I have a gift for you.
Much.
These are my socks, black socks. You like black?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
So wear them. It's big feet. So if you want to.
I use them like this.
Okay.
This and I go.
Okay. Thank you, Chef. All right. Thank you.
Bedankt dat je erbij was. We hadden het goed samen. Ga naar satellitegourmet.com en lees meer over deze podcast. Elke episode vind je ook op Spotify, Google en Apple Podcasts. Op het YouTube-kanaal Satellite Gourmet voor video. Denk eraan om ons te volgen en subscribe.